Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more of the meta. So once again, I'm going to be showing you some offensive gameplay. Recently switched into the Rams offense. Now this is a West Coast offense with a zone run. One of the things I started noticing is that they give you categories of the offenses in your playbooks. You can kind of get a feel for that, and you'll see that certain West Coast playbooks have a lot of the same plays, but also West Coast zone run will have a lot of the identical plays. So if you wanted to switch offensive playbooks from one group to the next, pay attention to what the style of the offense is, and it's going to have a lot of similarities. That's why certain books are almost identical to each other with maybe a couple different changes. So wanted to show this gameplay for you, a couple different gameplays. I'm just out of curiosity, guys. Defense sucks in this game. It just seems like if you run into anybody that really knows what they're doing on offense, it's hard to get a stop. So what defenses are you guys running? I'm actually been labbing the Cardinals playbook with the new 3-3 penny defense just to see if I can get any kind of stops. And I've had some good success, but also given up some one-play touchdowns. So I want to get a feel for what do you guys. So down in the notes, let me know what defensive playbooks you're running, what formations. A lot of my subscribers and a lot of people that comment on my videos actually go ahead and do this. So I'm going to be jumping into this gameplay right here. In particular, and one of the things I want to do initially when I come out is I want to go ahead and establish the run. So I always come out of a game, a run play. This is a weak zone play. I used to do like kind of a stretch that went out a little bit further, but I find that it's easy for the defenders to shoot the gaps and catch me in the backfield, and I am a firm believer in keeping the chains short and not giving up any opportunities. So I don't do a lot of like reverse plays and run the ball wide and go real wide. I usually try to keep everything close to the line of scrimmage. So if I do lose yardage, it's only going to be a handful where it won't be like 5 or 6 yards or something like that. So base play I actually come out of is going to be this little inside zone. It's like a weak zone. I flipped it to the other side. And one of the things I'm doing is I'm motioning this guy over. And this is going to give me another blocker. But also what this does is it will get his defenders out of position. And then I'll be able to go ahead and run on the backside with this, with either a wide zone or with this weak zone. So snap the ball, snap it really quick, get pretty good blocking right here. The guy actually doesn't react that well. And I'm able to go ahead and pick up a nice chunk of change right there on the first run. So here's another play that I'll be using in my schemes for quite a long time. It's a standard stick play. What I like to do is I like to take this guy, put him on a deep curl with 10 yards, and that's going to be my first read. I'm going to watch this defender and see if anybody floats into the zones and make my progressions from to this guy to this guy to this guy from progressions from there. But if it's man across the board, what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and throw. Actually, he was in quarters. As you can see, I'm able to go ahead and throw this quarters route right here and pick up another 10 yards with this particular play right here. So back at it again. I jump into 0-1 trap. Now, one of the reasons why I like the Rams is because it does have an 0-1 trap, and this is good when your center is uncovered. I like to do this because the blocking actually gets to the next level. He kind of bunches things up a little bit. He brings another defender in there, but you can see I'm able to go ahead and pick up 3 yards, and that's okay. 4 yards you're winning in the rushing game, picking up 4 yards per carry, and I want to just keep the change short against my opponent. So right here I go into a play which is going to be the gun tight, and this is essentially just kind of like a play action, and then I jump into the tight end corner, which basically is just a route compensation, like a route concept like so. Quick little outs and then a corner route. Now, what I really should be reading is this route right away. This is going to be the first thing, but I kind of fell back on my crutch with this whip route because I wanted to see that whip route open up for me, and I should be throwing the out. You can see this guy's got leverage. The defender's out of position. This is the right read, but I'm waiting for this whip route to open up, and this whip route is not as good as it was in previous Maddens. Right here, you can see he only picks up a couple of yards, and I literally pick up 1 yard on that progression. Where if I would have went to the out, would have picked up some more yards. So that's one of the things you notice when you start jumping to different plays. It's a really good, you want to make your progressions a little bit better. Now, one of the reasons I did jump into the Rams is this particular play concept right here. This is a stock play, which I've been running, and when you have a tight set like this, this guy will get across the formation very easy and always get separation. And these two routes will pull these defenders up, giving this route a big open. But I always want to make my first read with this curl route if it's man coverage and throw it right away, because I want to make sure that my opponent is aware that I'm going to actually go ahead and force him to the other side of the field. So you can see his guy's just kind of sitting right here. I've got basically kind of the post route, but you can see this route is actually open right now. So I get rid of the ball right there. The defender actually kind of jumps it, but I have a big body tight end. He's actually getting in front of the ball and be able to go to get a nice little completion like that. So back at it again. One of the things what I do like about this mega scheme is I have access to a lot of different plays, a lot of different looks versus my opponent, so I'm going to catch him off guard. And here's a really good play. Guys, you've probably seen this before, but you've got this little route right here that actually goes out, and if these defenders float up, you want to hit this right away. You got the streak route that can potentially be open, so that's another alert you want to take a look at. But then you have these little crossing routes that go over the middle of the field, and I don't look to this route at all. So you're really just looking from this side, scanning over to the center of field, and you're just waiting for these little crossing routes to be cleared out by the umbrella coverage, which would be deep blues. You can see right here, this is wide open. And I think in this type of situation, I actually threw it a little bit too late. If I would have thrown it a little bit earlier before his cut, probably would have completed that and actually picked up an easy first down. So I'm going to go back to that. Here's another play that I threw into this scheme. Let's see if we go back into this pass play. All right, so this is a play that I like to use on off coverage. And it's this very simple concept. Usually you want to block all because that running back is kind of mix things up. But what's cool about this is you can go either direction with this pass concept. But I've got this short little out. What I do is I do a curl route, and then I have a drag underneath it. Now, my first progression is going to be this read right here. Then I'm going to come to the curl, which is going to be 2, and then I've got this drag that's going to fall underneath it, which is going to be 3. So it's going to be easy reads because I'm just looking to this side of the field and not the other side of the field. I'm not trying to cover the entire length of the field. You can see how this guy kind of slides out. That means that this route is going to be available. You can see how I'm actually trying to get rid of the ball right away. But he had kind of a aggressive blitz going on. He actually had a little block shed. He beat-gapped me and actually got me right there. But you could see this would have been an easy completion if I would have got the ball off. But he actually goes ahead and sacks me for a 3rd and 14th situation. So I'm going to go back at it again. Usually in this type of situation, I'm going to jump into a different formation, primarily because I need a little bit more time for these plays to develop. So now I go into this play once again, same play right here. Here's my first read. I'll check. This is going to be my alerts just to see if it opens up. But you're going to be my 1. This is going to be my 2, and then I've got my 3. That's going to be this little crosser. Not looking to the right side of the field. Everything is going to be to the left side of the field. Going to go ahead and shoot. You can see how these guys are falling into the zone. So I threw this earlier, and this guy came out and popped it out. So I think I'm just going to wait for him to pull his person up. And you can see right here, he's chasing the shallow, but I've got the deep that's got good positioning, and the other defenders are actually got their backs turned so they can't see that play. So I'm able to pick up a first down. So it's nice to have that in your back pocket. So now I go back to the inside zone. I'm going to go ahead and just quickly snap it. And you can see I got really good blocking right there. I'm able to go pick up another 13 yards. And then I go into a formation, which essentially is going to be, a standard normal formation where I'm just doing, a T formation. I've got 2 wide receivers over here and just the zone. I like the leverage. I like the count on the right side, so I'm just going to run to the right side, but I would flip this off to the left side. And this is a really good play to actually have down in the red zone where you just want to go and punch the ball in the end zone. You just want to run the ball. So here's another game play, just another player I'm using against with the scheme, going back to the halfback zone weak. That's going to be our base play. And this guy played everything down in the line. So he's pressing all of his dudes against me, make it a little bit more challenging, and he's got he's got a monster defender at defensive tackle, which really plays really good. He just messes up the blocking. So right here, I go ahead and stay back into the inside zone. I'm going to go ahead and motion this guy over, quick snap the ball right here, and you can see I get some pretty good blocking. But his defender comes in the back and just tackles me in the back. But you can see if I would have got past that guy, that could have been a touchdown based on him coming out of the double A gap and having this play in my back pocket. So right here I go into this particular play once again, but you can see he presses people down. So this is the only thing I don't like about is the press, is that the press is actually going to go ahead and defend this little out route. We'll see. We'll take a look at this in the footage, but I have this play set up once again. Right here, you can see how the defender actually kind of bumps out. So I've got a little curl, and I got the drag underneath. And his user is actually off the line, and I'm able to go ahead and hit the curl route. So that's one of the good things about against people that run a lot of man coverages. You can jump into this play. So now he's got a single high safety, and I think he presses his guys down once again. He's got his guys a little bit to the outside. I go ahead and jump into just a simple, this is a simple China concept right here with a corner. And I'm going to do a backside route, blocking my running back, and I'm just looking to the inside and looking up progression from there. So you can see this guy kind of falls out. Here's my read right here. He's still playing in the middle of the field. I'm going to go and throw that ball. Should have got a little bit earlier, but that's what you're seeing when you're making your progressions from there. So now I'm going to go ahead and stay once again into this run play, flip it. I'm going to go ahead and motion my guy over. Quick snap it. He actually shoots the gap with his one defender, but I'm able to go ahead and find the backside blocking to able to pick up a 3rd and 4 situation. So right here, I think I jump into this play once again. So here's the thing. I'm looking for this whip. In previous Maddens, this whip route was money and actually would get like 5 or 6 yards. So that doesn't happen. It stays really, really flush. It stays like 1 or 2 yards off the line of scrimmage. So you really should be looking at this route first and making your progressions from there. So I think I jump into it. You can see how this defender actually comes down, so that actually was not that bad of a read. I'm looking to the corner route. The corner route actually gets picked up by the defensive line and gets bumped off, and I go back to this whip route, and he actually comes in there and knocks the ball out. So it's a 4th and 2 situation, so not the ideal situation. He presses his guys down, and now I'm going to go ahead and jump into this play, which is really, really money. I like this. Very simple. Loveland, it would be my first read, and I got this little dragging route, and I see how this dragging route really gets separation. And afterwards, you can rack that for a lot of yards. I can't count how many times that when I jump into that particular play, you can rack for a ton of yards on it. So I get a conversion to 4th down. I always want to stay 3rd and short, not this type of stuff. Now I quickly jump into the 0-1 trap, and once again, his defender just came out of nowhere. I'm able to go ahead and get a couple more yards by bouncing off, but his guys are just shooting. Now I jump into this play, which essentially is really 2 reads. I'm looking to this route right here, and I'm also looking to this little hitch route. This is going to be my read. If this guy's man and they lock up and they carry, this little corner route stop route is going to be where I'm looking to. And I think what I did is I pass lead the ball. I got a little anxious because of I was really a bit nervous about this guy's pass rush, and I threw the ball a little bit too early and pass lead it. So that should have been a completion. It should have been a 1st down. So I put myself in that situation. So let's see if we jump into this route once again. I'm going to watch more. You can see how the defenders come out. I've got the little crossing route by the tight end, able to go and complete that and actually get a 1st down. This guy's actually he's just staying right on top of me as I'm hitting these little crossing routes off to the right and off to the left. Now I jump into this play right here, which is going to be this RPO. And here's the adjustment. With this RPO, you can adjust this guy. I went ahead and labbed basically the slant, and it just gets too flat where defenders actually are in the area or not. So I discovered that you can do outs, you can do hitches, you can do all different types of stuff, and that crossing route gets a little bit more depth and can get in the field. So this is when I see defenders coming down and actually playing a lot of man coverage. These guys got run fits. This will be wide open for an easy completion. So you're going to watch how this just gets wide open, just like the Bears game this past weekend, where basically Doomsday was wide open in the red zone at the end of the game because it just didn't get covered up, and that was one of the things. So wanted to kind of show that to you for you. This guy actually had a pretty good offense. I was having a hard time stopping it, so wanted to get the field. Basically, he milked the clock against me, left me 30 seconds, and I've got 2 timeouts. I burned a timeout in this type of situation against this guy. And he jumps into cover 4 drop and plays the sticks, which is actually a pretty good defense to use against your opponent. So you don't really know exactly what your opponent is going to do. So what I like to do in these type of situations, I like to have a deep out. so I can hit that for the sideline, but I want to complement this with a little seam route against my opponent when I'm actually doing this type of stuff. So right here, I think I do an outs. I got another out right here. And then watch how these defenders just keep floating up. And he's got 4 high shells, so I can't get thrown over the top of him. And these guys are going out to the sidelines, taking away my out. So I make a quick completion with the running back underneath, and I'm able to go ahead and get a completion right there. But I have to burn a timeout, and I have to get myself in field goal range. So my goal of this drive is to get in field goal range because he's getting the ball in the second half in this type of situation. So he shows me that he's running cover 4 drop, and everybody's falling back. And I think in this type of situation, I decide to go ahead and jump into a different play against this guy because he's probably going to stay in cover 4. So I'm reading cover 4 against this guy, streak things up. He pulls his guys off, then pushes them back down. So I stay in the play, and I've got this guy streaking up. I've got this other guy coming up and streaking and crossing. But you can see he's playing 4 high shell. This guy's falling back into the zone. And I'm looking for this little crossing route right here, but he's using it away. And fortunately for me, the ball just gets misthrown for me in this type of situation. So I know he's using cover 4 drop. It's the second play in a row. So now I go ahead and jump into this particular play concept against cover 4. All right, so what I got to do is he's running a 4 high shell against me, and he's bringing these guys out, and they're playing basically the sticks. So what do I have to do is I have to hit an area where it's basically, it's not he's got his deep zone, but he also has this floating zone playing maybe the sticks or so. So I got to hit the sideline in this area. So I decided to go ahead and jump into a play with a curl route, and you can see I'm going to go ahead and motion, take this curl out and just put it up a couple notches. I need to streak this guy up, and I also need some type of route to go ahead and pull down the defender that's floating up, down. So he has to. So he puts the defender in conflict. So you can see I've got this set up, got the streak, got plenty of time to do that. You can see this guy is actually kind of floating with the tight end in that type of situation. And right here I do the corner route. He does match a little bit. I'm able to go ahead and catch the ball. I'm trying to get out of bounds, but he actually tackles me right there, and I end up having to burn my last time out. So because he was playing this type of coverage, I wasn't feeling too confident about what to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and kick the field goal in this situation. And I miss a field goal. So I wanted to show this to you. I do miss field goals too. You know, I hate when they patch the game. The timing gets mixed up, and you got to go sit down in the lab and practice field goals. But I wanted to kind of show this gameplay to you. I'm working on some bunch formations and different breakdowns, so I'll probably be posting those quick schemes on my Patreon. But once again, guys, thanks for your support. Until next time, and if you can, let me know what defenses you're running, what defensive playbook you're running, and what's your favorite formation. Put it down in the notes. I want to get your feedback on that and share it with the community. So thank you for your support. Until next time.